Okay, guys, so I just watched the address from the president from the U country overseas to Congress. Okay, now the reason why I'm going to use words like the U country, the R country, the V president, the P president, stick with me, is because YouTube is they already said it, like if we see disinformation that isn't going along with what narrative is placed out there, I mean, pretty much that's how they said it, we will get rid of the channel, you know what I mean, or we'll get rid of the video, we'll shut you down. I do not want to lose this channel. I've been working hard on this channel. I don't want to lose this channel. So I have to be careful with the words that I use, because they'll say it's disinformation. Who is the arbiter of truth here, right? So I'm just giving an opinion on what I just watched, okay? So anyway, I just watched it and I took some notes and I just want to talk to you guys about it. First of all of this stuff is important because obviously it's going to affect us. It's already affecting us, right? So that's why I feel like we definitely have to talk about it. And we talk about everything on this channel. And the inconvenient truth sometimes doesn't feel good. Sometimes it's abrasive, but it's still here. So it should be addressed. Okay. So, first, to address you guys as Americans, I noticed this trend that if you don't say, I love you, I stand with you, the you country, like if you don't say it a certain way, it's like, oh, you either don't have a heart or you're like a treasonous non American. Why? Why, if I'm concerned about my country first, am I a non-American? That doesn't make sense. Or if I have questions, or if I don't just swallow up everything that's shoveled down my throat. Okay, I think after the last 2 years, and yes, this is the type of same thing. As far as crises go, after the last 2 years, I think that we should be more, having more discernment in the information that's given to us, or even after weapons of mass destruction from years ago in Iraq. Okay, so anyway, we talked about that. So out of respect to y'all, I'm always gonna keep it real with how I'm looking at things and how I'm like parsing information. Okay, so this is a quick few notes that I took. So to get this video out to you guys, okay? And then I'll have a more detailed video about his speech. So, like I said, President Z of the U country, he did address Congress. So before I get started again, I want to start off with may God be with the people, all Ukrainian people over there, Ukrainian people over here, okay? And I say that because no matter what confusion's going on, no matter where the bullets are coming from, they are hitting people and people are dying. Okay, so I respect that. Before I call out any kind of propaganda, I'm gonna first have respect for the lives that are being lost, the children, the babies, civilians, innocent civilians who have nothing to do with government issues are always like obviously the first casualties of war. So let's get that out the way. I definitely respect life and God be with them. All right. So anyway, in his speech, of course, he pleaded for help. He pleaded for like help in the sky, give us a no fly zone. He's still asking them for that. And his speech was very, it was very charismatic. The guy's not hard on the eyes. I mean, let's keep it real. He brought up Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and he brought up the I Have a Dream speech, the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream. He said Americans that we respect freedom, and they need our help to fight for their freedom. That's what he said. And the mainstream media will hang on to those like I Have a Dream speech stuff. You're gonna hear all about it. But for me, there were two key things that I definitely took from his speech. So the first thing is him saying, okay, so he wants more sanctions on ours, okay, the people from the our country, but even ones who live here, okay. So he's like, you need to sanction companies, people that are dealing with that military. Like you need to be harder on them if they're funding that military. I understand it. I would say that too, right? That makes total sense. So, of course. But then he said, you should basically like be sanctioning companies here that are funding that military. Companies here. Companies. Well, what kind of companies? So this is where I get, with words, I don't play around. What kind of companies? The small businesses in my neighborhood, not too far, maybe like 10 minutes away from me. There is a big R population where they make, they have baked goods, they have their own supermarkets, things like that. I think they even have their own banks. I have to find out. So are we sanctioning those? What's going on there? Like, to say, oh, if they're funding the military of that country, you know, um, a lot of allegations can be made on a person who's not doing a bad thing. So I I'm a little apprehensive about that. I am. So, because like I said, you see how they'll tag you as, a treasonous or something, and you're just talking about facts or whatever. People can allege anything about you, even if not talking about this. Somebody could say she stole money from me, and you didn't. So I get a little weary about that. I'll look into more of that and see what's going on, and even see what's going on in the community near me, because I think they have banks too. I know they have insurance companies, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Um, so and then he says, so, and I just feel like I said, the president, the P guy, the dictator P, who is over there, he's the one making those decisions. He's the one doing, or making those decisions to bomb wherever he's bombing or whatever. It's not the citizens, first of all, that country, and of citizens that are here. Like, if it's a very, like, it's a fine line to walk, where people might background checks, I don't know, but I'm gonna find somebody to ask them to see, like, how things have been going with that, because I want to know. I do. So all right, so then my fault. Then he spoke on something called U-24. He proposed a thing called U-24. It would be like Unity 24, but 24 countries that would have an alliance for peace. Okay, so everybody, like, allies for peace, and they would be ready to help with aid to stop disasters, epidemics, man-made epidemics. And he went into talking about that, and it's like a proposal to, like, oh, if people need vaccines, we need, then we could do it even faster. So I need to look into this U-24, because this is a thing, because I found a couple articles about it, and I'm so America first that I'm like, I know it probably sounds like, well, all right, that would be good to have an alliance, a world alliance. Yeah, it's a lot of things sound good. I need to look into it first before I just accept what's given to me. That's all I'm saying. So I will look into that, and I'm gonna make a video about that. So okay. And then, of course, he did play a sad video. The video was sad. A lot of babies, bleeding and stuff. People got hurt. I said that. I said, people getting hurt is not fun. It's not nice to watch. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Civilians are always the casualties of these kind of wars that they don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay. And so that was said, and it will play on, not to say like play on people's heartstrings, but it definitely would. I mean, it played on mine. Like, it is sad. It is. So then Congress comes out, and then after, they've been addressed, they come and they get to talk on the mic and say how they feel. And everybody pretty much had the same, like, theme in addressing the reporters. Okay, so Congress comes out and says, we know who President Z is, and we know who the dictator P is, and they need more weapons, they need more help. We need to help them fight for a free world. They want planes. We need to give them planes. And the one congressman, did not get his name. He was basically like, we should have been gave him a no-fly zone. Okay, so then another congressman was like, yo, basically the way how he spoke to us and everything, like, he was very sorry y'all, he was very persuasive, and he's really good that way. And it just makes us look at the way we're looking at this thing, like, we need to change the dynamic of how we're looking at it. Like, we need to say, it's not that they're not going to win, but we need to rethink that they can win, and they can win with our help. We need to help them, and we need to change how we've been moving basically on a situation, because they really can win, but with our help to fight for freedom. And then another congressperson was like, Americans are ready for more sanctions on our people. The R people or the country of R. And they said that it's a shame that I have to speak like this. And Americans, I get the sense from Americans that we're ready to do more. Okay, all right, okay. So, but all this tightening and sanctions. But I have another video coming out about the fact that, we're helping the our people. We're not putting sanctions on this deal that they have with Iran about missiles and nuclear deals. So what's up, right? What's going on? These are bad people, but we have backhanded deals with them. So I'm gonna discuss that more in the other video that I'm gonna make because I don't want to just go off the top of my head and say anything wrong. So that's basically the sense that you got from everybody coming out of Congress was like, yo, man, you know what? We need to be doing more. Like, you know what I'm saying? We could send them the jets. You know what I mean? We know where the jets are. We could send them the jets. We could give them a no-fly zone or whatever. They're not asking for boots on the ground. They're asking for all kinds of other aids and weapons and everything. But see, the thing is, when you start sending these jets and start making these no-fly zones, boots on the ground are next. Because it does become a move towards war. It does. And that's just the honest truth of it. I mean, that's just really what it is. It becomes a threat move, right? I'm not saying to be afraid of anybody. We should have never got to this point where we had to even be making physical moves towards what we need to be doing next. See, because when you lead from strength, piece by strength, then you don't have to get ready. You stay ready because you already put in place, like, don't get silly because I can get silly back. And that's just me like summarizing the words that the last administration used with this the P dictator in the R country, right? So that's how I feel like it should have always been handled, but here we are today, right? So, okay, all this, wrap it up, right? Guys, be prepared, not for missiles. I'm not saying bombs over Baghdad. I always end my videos off with this. Get your supplies. Just get ready to just have a few things on hand. Flashlights, batteries, solar powered radio. Yeah. Why not? Why not? We are in territory that we haven't been in a long time. And territory that I'm not even sure that I think I ever was in, no matter what was going on while I was growing up. So be prepared. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying to be prepared so we don't get hysterical if something were to change, if something were to happen, if some sort of cyber attack, whatever. It's not the first time. Like, just not too long ago, they hacked the gas lines. Remember, people were putting bags of gas in their trunks of the cars. You get hysterical when you're not prepared. So I'm saying is be prepared. But most of all, find ways to meditate, deep breath, everything. God is good. For me, that's where I go. I pray and I just get a piece of the fact that I'm not going to understand everything, but I can assess it from 10 steps, in the back to prepare myself. And that's what I want y'all to do too. Maybe I'm going to make a video about how to prepare for things if things happen, right? We need to learn how to just be prepared. So be self-sufficient. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. All right, guys. So this is my take on the speech that was given. And I'll go into more detail with that U-24 stuff, but this is my take on it. And y'all hear the ring alarm. And I'm just always going to keep it real. And if you guys don't like anything that I said, please comment below. No cursing because YouTube won't show it, but comment below. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you feel like I'm taking it too far. I like when y'all comment these things. It's dialogue, okay? So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.